Hey everyone, my name is Alyssa Smith, and this is my About Me culture video. So, three things that make up my culture is probably number one is me being a woman. It's something that, is special to me, like, just who I am. Being a woman to me means being powerful and unique and beautiful and confident in society. Even though things have been, steadily increasing over time with equality, I think in today's society, we still struggle as a nation with some issues with equality of women, especially in minority groups. So, to me, that just is important to me, and it's part of my culture. Number two for me would be my religion. I personally take religion really seriously in my life, and it means a lot to me in my faith. Basically, I was raised out of a pretty strict, like, Roman Catholic family. And I guess I deviated a little bit as I grew older, like, into my own religion. I realized that I didn't necessarily personally agree with everything that went on, like, in the Catholic religion. Although, like, my religion and faith in God is still really important to me, I'm more of a non-denominational Christian now, and my devotion to that is really important in my life, and it makes up a part of my culture. And then the third thing that makes up my culture is cooking. So I guess that, like, I'm primarily from a family that I have ties from all over in the European area. Like, I'm mainly German, English, Irish, Scottish, Dutch, Welsh, Czechoslovakian, English, Irish. I think I said that already. But I'm also Native American. But basically, I don't really have a lot of, like, family traditions or, like, family recipes that was passed down. A lot of my family history, I mean, there's some things that I know more in, like, the documentation realm, but as far as, like, actual, like, recipes and, traditions and stuff, I don't really have a lot of them. But one thing that has been in my family for a while is this recipe on my mom's side. I grew up with my mom making it a lot, and then her mom taught her how to make it. And I think my grandma, I think she learned it from her Italian neighbor or something like that. I don't know the full story, but that's just how it is thought to she have gotten it. But now I make this recipe a lot, and in the next few clips, you'll see how to make the recipe. The recipe is this lemon pepper shrimp linguine or shrimp scampi recipe. I believe it's Italian. Again, I'm not exactly sure how they got it, but that's what it's believed to be. But I will show you guys how to make it, and that is three things that I personally think make up my culture. Bye. Hey everyone, this is how you make lemon pepper shrimp scampi. So the basic ingredients are going to be obviously 1 pound of shrimp, any kind of linguine or, like, spaghetti noodle. I'm using gluten-free, but any kind will work. A whole lemon, and then about, like, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of lemon zest. You'll also need 1 tablespoon of olive oil, along with 3 tablespoons of parsley and 1 tablespoon of basil leaves. You'll also need half a cup of chicken broth, 1/4 cup of white wine, and then about 6 cloves of garlic minced, along with 2 teaspoons of pepper, half a stick of butter, and salt. Okay, so first things first, since I'm using a bag of frozen shrimp, I'm going to start with getting them in a pan and, defrosted so we can add it to the pasta mix later on. So I'm just going to spray the bottom of my pan, put it on high for now, just to get them, de-thawed and everything. And then shrimp, just a few on the table. So I'll just leave this on high for now. and come back to it in a little bit. Okay, so next I'm gonna bring a large pot of water to a boil on high and just add some salt so the pasta gets. So next I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of olive oil in a large saucepan. And bring it to about medium-high heat. I'm also going to add my 6 cloves of minced garlic. And I'm going to saute it in there for about 1 minute. Okay, so this has sauteed for about a minute. So now I'm going to reduce the heat on the shrimp to about medium. Now that it's, like more thawed out, it's like getting pinker, and just kind of like let this chill, let this hang out for a little bit while we go ahead and add the pasta into the pot to boil. So I'm going to divide it about half. And then break it all up. And then add the rest in there. And I'm going to cook this about medium for about 10 minutes or so, until the noodles are soft. Okay, so next I'm going to add the half a cup of chicken broth into the garlic and olive oil mixture. And mix this up. Go ahead, okay, so next I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of white wine to the mixture. And just give it another mix. So while this is mixing up, I'm just gonna mix up the shrimp, make sure it's getting evenly cooked on all sides, and also make sure I'm stirring my pasta every so often as well. All right, so next I'm going to add 1 whole lemon. Just, squeeze the juice in there. You don't really have to do this like any particular way. Just, get as much as you can in. Okay, so I didn't show this part in the prep, but you're just going to want to grate the peel of the lemon and get about half a teaspoon of the lemon zest and just add it into the mixture, okay? All right, so just gonna make sure I'm stirring my shrimp every so often, and I'm now gonna add just some salt to the mixture to taste, not too much. And I'm also gonna add about 2 teaspoons of pepper to the mixture as well. Okay, so now once this is, pretty mixed up, you're just going to reduce the heat to like a low temperature and just let it simmer for about 10 minutes so the liquid, reduces by about half. Right, so this mixture, the liquid has reduced to about half. So now these shrimps are pretty much cooked all the way through. We're just going to drain the excess liquid in it and then return it back to the stove. All right, so now we're gonna add half a stick of butter to the cooked shrimp. So add the half a stick of butter to the cooked shrimp and just kind of, let it melt, mix it all up, still keeping it at about medium heat. Add 3 tablespoons of the fresh parsley to the shrimp and butter mixture. we're just gonna mix it all up. Just like that. All right, so my pasta is pretty much all the way cooked now. So I'm gonna turn off the heat and we're gonna drain it. All right, so just gonna shake it around, make sure all the water's pretty much drained, and then just put it right back on the pan. All right, so next I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of basil leaves into the mixture with all the shrimp. So just add it all in. And give it a good mix up. Alrighty, so now I'm gonna turn off the heat in our mixture right here, and then add this to all the shrimp. Make sure it's all in. Next, I'm gonna mix this one all up, and we're gonna cook this on medium-high heat for about 3 minutes. Alrighty, so it's been about 3 minutes. So now I'm just gonna take my shrimp and sauce mixture, turn the heat off on this one, and add it to our pasta. And we're gonna cook this for about 2 minutes just to make sure everything's well coated. Alrighty, so after I cook for 2 to 3 minutes, this is what it looks like all finished and plated up and all done.